What's up, Bucs Report? What's up, Bucs Report? Bucs Report.
Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Go Bucs, go Bucs. First and goal, gotta tough it out. Get in the end zone and call a hot route. O-line to beat, Mike down the street. And have Humphreys run right underneath. You know it's Bucs ball, we got the hardest D. Bring the pressure to the QB. You know it's routine, we got hard grease. Welcome to Tampa, welcome to Germany. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Reppin' for my team. Go Bucs, go Bucs. You know we want the ring. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Welcome to the Bay. Go Bucs, go Bucs. Tune in with Buccaneer Blake. Bucs back, we can run and talk. Mike Evans looking like Randy Moss. And Jameis make a play after play. On the defense, you can't stop Levante. On my boy McCoy, who you can't avoid. At the Raymond James, you about to feel the pain. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. If you a Bucs fan, make a lot of noise. Go Bucs.
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to BucsReport.com with your host, the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Buccaneer Blake, out of his very small corner out of Dunedin, Florida, at BUCnBLAKE Make sure to check out all NFL news and updates at BucsReport.com. Check out all my other counterparts on each days of the week, Sunday through Saturday, including myself on Thursdays. It might flex out being with my new schedule going on, but I will make sure to have it updated. You have no idea what my schedule looks like, but I want to make sure to always give you guys my 110% when I come out here and try to give you the best that I can, because some of you guys really appreciate, the work I do and stuff like that. So it would be a disservice for me not to do that. But again, always check out BucsReport.com, BUCnBLAKESPORTS.com. Check out the website. I've worked hard on it, BUCnBLAKESPORTS.com. Get on there, register yourself. I'm do some giveaways and stuff per month and stuff like that. So make sure you get on there and get registered and get logged in and stuff like that. I got it up and running and ready to rock and roll. So again, welcome to BucnBLAKE Sports as we go down it. Let us know where you're from, what state, city, country, what section you sit in. 147 row C right here. Make sure to give a shout out to our sponsors, the Rat Pack Sports Show with Derek Jones, and make sure you check out some of our other lids and South St. Pete Store 7004. Make sure to reach out for Christopher Shaw at lids and South in St. Pete at the Tyrone Mall, and make sure to ask for him. He'll give you a hookup out there. Make sure to check out some of the other shows. Tuesdays, Tony's Take and the Rambling Rossies from 8 to 8:30. BritBucs at 1 to 1:30 on Tuesdays. Wednesday, Bill and Larry's weekly wrap-up show. That's 8:30. And Saturdays, it's going to be Peter Blake and the Sports Web from 3 to 6. So make sure to check out all of those. If I'm missing somebody, please let me know. Make sure to add them to them. I want to make sure everybody gets their 5 minutes of fame on here, because they do the same for me, and I didn't want to leave anybody out. So let's get things rolling. How you guys feel? Week was terrible, huh? Without football, well, Bucs football at least. So we'll go. Was the bye week much needed? Wilmington, Delaware. I lived out there, John. Bear, to be exact, Bear, and I lived outside of West Philly, right outside of West Philly in Yaden, Pennsylvania. Falcons going 1-5. I agree, Corey, John. Was the bye week much needed? Absolutely. For me to miss a week of Bucs football, I didn't like it. But for the team, they needed it. They need to get healthy. We've been banged up all year. I'm glad we're getting it out the way early instead of later. I think a little adversity early in the season will pick us up. But you get to see where a team's at when you're faced with adversity. You're faced with 2-2. Basically, we're 500. We're at 0-0 again at the beginning of the season. So we get to still right where we want to be at with the season. So it's not over. It's not time to panic just quite yet. You got to keep fighting. But the bye week was needed. Bye week was much needed. Get healthy, get refocused. Mike Smith definitely needs to refocus. The defense needs to definitely refocus. A lot of people need to figure out what they want to do with their jobs out there and focus on things that went wrong and focus on some things that went right. Because The only thing about taking a terrible beating to the Bears is taking a beating like that and then getting nothing out of it. So hopefully they got a lot out of it, learned a whole lot, because it's a copycat league. Trust and believe that other teams are going to simulate the things that worked against us with the Bears, which is the Falcons. And I've broken down a lot of tape on the Falcons, so I'm going to give it to you here. I'm not going to roll tape this time, because I got to figure out a faster system to do this than to do all that. I know some of you guys like it, but I know it's a little boring to some people, and they're not quite into the X's and O's. So, Corey, O.J. Howard's been questionable week to week with a knee injury. You just got to bear with the pain. And, yeah, Sean, definitely we need to get a run game going. It's non-existent. I'm not sure if they're waiting to see if they can get somebody in the trade or somebody gets dropped. Not really sure what they're waiting for, but honestly, to be quite honest, I don't think it's really the running back. I really think it's the running lanes. I said on Tony's show before, I watched a lot of tape, and from what I'm seeing is not that it's the running back, it's the line that they're not blocking to the end of the whistle. Only guy that blocks to the end of the whistle is Ryan Jensen. And that has to do with, sometimes a hole opens up a little later. I've watched many plays with Donovan Smith, where he just barely puts his hand on the guy on a run play and is turn around to see where the running back is. And he's getting tackled in the backfield as his guy is making the tackle. I've seen plenty of that, and it's not just him. It's a couple folks. They're not digging in and trying to drive their guy into the dirt. And I think that's where a lot of our problems are having with running lanes in the running game. I mean, it's easy to just say that we need a running game, but I don't think it's the play calling. We done changed back several times, and we're still getting the same results. So at this point, it's not the back. But yes, the bye week was very needed. Freeman possibly out with a foot injury against the Falcons. That plays a key part in this game. So that means Tevin Coleman's going to pretty much be the full-time starter if he gets the go-ahead. So it's going to be a lot of passes to Freeman. Freeman is pretty decent. I mean, Coleman's a pretty decent running back. He can catch passes and stuff, pretty quick running back. He'll gash you for yards if we let him. But he's not Devontae Freeman, down hard-nosed runner like Freeman is. Freeman's pretty much getting banged up. So Coleman's probably going to have to step in. How do you think? I'm sorry, John, I don't want to act like I missed it. How do you think Winston will show up in his first game? Winston's fared well against the Falcons. And I think Winston, after having a whole week of continuity back with the team and dapping it up and being with your players again, I think he'll have a little fire under his tail to play and make plays Sunday in Atlanta. But yeah, Freeman being out plays a key part that limits their running game a little bit, and gonna have to rely on Coleman to be the full horse back, unless they're gonna put some of the other guys in there to step in. What would be the Bucs game plan against the Falcons? Well, I got that figured out. The Steelers pretty much did what I thought they were gonna do. The Steelers played under-over coverage, which is zone under Julio Jones, and a zone under, which are going to force Matt Ryan to throw a very tight ball, a very good ball in a tight window. But the Steelers also were just so disruptive on the front line. You didn't know who was coming from where, and the pressure was always, crumbling the pocket. And Matt Ryan really didn't have any chance to throw the ball or set his feet, and made a lot of error throws. So that's what you got to do. Either you play man or you can do zone, both one under, one over, or you can go man on certain plays and double up on the other ones and leave Jones in one-on-one. It's going to be tough. It's really play it by ear how the game goes and getting pressure on Matt Ryan, because Matt Ryan's eyes literally goes right on Julio Jones when he wants to get a first down or something, and he will hold the ball and throw ugly passes to get that ball to Jones no matter what. Matt Ryan watching that tape, anytime the Falcons come out in 5 wide, it's only a multitude of things. It's either everybody's on quick outs, and usually he likes looking for Austin Hooper, the quickest way to get the ball out of his hand, or he looks for Mohamed Sanu on the far hash mark to throw that ball to him. So those are ways he tries to get the ball out of his hands pretty quick. Or if it's in 5 wide, he will also throw screens to the slot on a little swing out route, or he'll throw screens to the running back. All right, just got news here. The Bucs are hosting Corey Coleman for some workouts this week. Corey Coleman is a very fast receiver and can play. Now it makes me think that, are we trying to trade somebody while we're looking at him? Interesting. Side note. Oh, Dean, yeah, I'm sorry. I ended up getting home, Dean, earlier than I thought, and I went to the gym earlier, so I was able to get this out earlier. Didn't want to disappoint you, sir. I know how you love the show. What's going on, Crystal? Hi. So where was I? You have to play zone. You have to play double zone under over, much like the Steelers did. But luckily, they have a Joe Hayden that has the size and the matchup abilities to play against Julio Jones, which we do not. Grimes is going to have to deal with a groin injury all season. That's why you're going to see a real lack of performance in his plays because of his groin injury. And a groin injury does not go away until you stop playing on it until it heals. I would say something how groin injuries usually happen, but Miko said it herself on that little video she posted with her and Grimes on things they do before game day and stuff like that usually happens when you do that. So with that being said, you play the zone under and the zone under, and you got to get pass rush this game. Jason Pierre-Paul, Vinny Curry, Vita Vea, Mitch Henry, William Golston, Gerald McCoy are going to have to get pressure in there, and they can't let Matt Ryan stand there and make 3 or 4 reads because it's shown that Matt Ryan literally looks at one receiver and he will try to get that ball out and hold it as long as he can, and he will take a sack or force a pass, and we just need to capitalize when these things happen. Just watching this tape, I just see more and more reasons why the Bucs can capitalize if we can generate that amount of pressure the Pittsburgh Steelers mounted in that game. And what was interesting that they were able to force points. They were able to force a touchdown too, much like us, trap pin in their own goal line, which Matt Ryan was sacked by T.J. Watt. It was a scoop and score in the end zone. Fitzpatrick threw a pick 6 to Bud Dupree, which Bud Dupree should have had that touchdown. He missed the ball, and then I believe number 56 or 54 was able to dive on it in the end zone and get the 6 points for it. But yeah. Dean, I agree. Separated groins are hard to heal. It's not something that's going to go away fast, and I just want to put that out there so people understand that this is not something that just can go away, because it's not. Looking forward to seeing Vita Vea working again. Yeah, he played pretty well, man. He got in there, got his feet wet, threw a couple guys to the ground, held his ground, didn't get shoved around like Swaggy P. He did pretty much what I thought he was going to do. Hopefully he can get some more disruptions and one-on-one and get upfield. I'll be looking forward to seeing that, and I don't think anything bad is going to really happen. I think he's just going to get better as the season goes on. And we took our time and let him get healthy, and here we are. Corey, Falcons team's got the flu. We'll see, and hopefully we don't catch it too going on with our season. But yeah, that's going to be my game plan, because hashtag Cabble for Bucs DC, defensive coordinator. I pretty much got the game plan for these guys. I just want to see what Mike Smith and them come up with. I said it before. I keep beating the dead horse. You're going to have to get pressure. You can't give Matt Ryan a pocket to throw. If he don't, he will throw you interceptions. He will throw off his back foot. He will throw those air passes, trying to force the ball to who he wants to get the ball to. I promise you, he will. I've watched it several times on the tape. And that's pretty much what he'll do. So, Winston being back. Winston promotion videos, I think it's a good thing. I think our face of our franchise is coming back. I really hope we don't get rid of him. We keep him around. I hope he's, continues this great play that he had in the preseasons. Granted, he missed 3 or 4 weeks, coming in that garbage time against the Bears. Well, it wasn't really garbage time. It was sort of to get his feet wet. But I think it was a more poisonous situation to stick Winston in that game at the end of the Bears game, because it was no good coming out of that. You're down insurmountable points with no chance of coming back. You've pretty much abandoned the run game, and everything's a drop pass, and all the defensive line is spinning their ears back every play and just coming to pass rush. I thought it was a little bad call putting him in on this situation and taking the risk of injury, but I understand why he did. He tried to get his feet wet and get the feel of the game speed and everything again. Granted, you're coming back to a game where you're playing Khalil Mack in that game, so you really get to see first class pass rush plus poor offensive line play against a premier pass rush again, and you got to basically scramble for your life and make a lot of your throws arid, as they basically just rushed 3 against us and were able to get detrimental pressure against us with 5 and 6 blocking against 3 guys, and it's taken 3 guys to block Khalil Mack. So Bucs new head coach at Arizona State. You must be talking about Herm Edwards. I don't think he wants to coach NFL anymore, to be honest. Kevin Young, we have to have a miracle for our defensive back to keep an eye and constantly getting burned. They were getting burned because it was Kevin was miscommunication in the secondary. Justin Evans fell on one play. They weren't sure who to cover in the wheel route. With the seam and the post route and the trips formation, there was a lot of young players, young mistakes happening out there. So they got to be smarter, and the coaches got to make sure that these players understand what game plan you're trying to execute, because clearly we didn't have any kind of clue what we were trying to execute on Sunday. And I honestly don't have an answer. I know I'm the game tape watching guru, and I really don't have an answer for what kind of coverage we were trying to do on there, but it was just piss poor executed, or piss poor called, or piss poor called in the certain situation at that time. So it was a multitude of things that weren't right, and I honestly don't have an answer for it. Obviously, I'm not getting paid to sit up there, the big bucks, to sit up there and watch the tape all day. I have my own things I got to do in my agenda that's really full. But if they were paying me, I promise you I have answers for you. Who wins WS Dodgers? Not sure, Corey. I'm not sure on that one. Who's going to win that one? You guys make sure to keep commenting. I'm going to comment on you guys is what you're saying here. Make sure to comment on anything that you see, topics up there, and I'll make sure to get to you. I don't think I missed anybody. Conte on field general. That's what happens when experience leads the field. Yeah, nobody wants to hear it, but yeah, there's no communication, and that might have been what Conte's key part was. Though he couldn't make the big plays that a veteran needed to make, but he might have been the one to put everybody in the right place. And you pretty much are having the blind leading the blind, Johnny. So I mean, that's where experience takes place, and people think everything is just you can plug and play, and it's a video game. The AI is going to do pretty much thing. Well, unfortunately, that's not an AI. These are human people, and there's some things that you just can't learn in the actual game till you experience it, or you get in-game experience to see what your coaches and your players are trying to, tell you to see and read and things like that and fill out. Who will step up and take Conte's place? It's going to have to be the whole team. It's not one player. And I think we try to symbolize one guy to do everything, like Gerald McCoy. Gerald McCoy's got enough problems on his hands dealing with the front line. A lot of people call him a bust and a disappointment. And it's not fair. Gerald McCoy on many fronts, player on and off the field, been a model citizen for this community since his entire career here. And he's had no help his entire career, piss poor help. Bottom of the barrel help, garbage grabbing, free agent, paying them all this money kind of help, while watch all these other teams' players have multitudes of help and getting multiple first-round picks on their rosters and first-round picks on their deep line, contributing to them. Man, just imagine if we got Khalil Mack. We could have given them 2 first-round picks for him. I mean, those first 2 first-round picks we would have gotten in 2019 and 2020 wouldn't have been Khalil Mack. So, I mean, and then ultimately they got a second pick back for the following season, so it wouldn't have been that bad, plus have Khalil Mack. And that literally changed the whole aspect of the Bears defense. Just think about what that did for us. Wow. And you got the money, you could have paid him. You got probably gonna have to move a couple pieces the next year or two with JPP and DJ with those little massive $10 million contracts. But those are little minor details you're just gonna have to work out. Fools call GMAC a bust. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm just trying to say. Let's see your comments here. What would you say? Kevin, do you think Winston DJ chemistry has improved since last year? Yeah, Winston seemed to find him a lot in the preseason, but I'm not really concerned with just one player getting the ball. I'm concerned with winning games. I'm concerned with, the whole team getting, continuity with each other and making plays, getting Chris Godwin involved, Brayton involved, and getting O.J. Howard involved. It's really because you're not always going to get, one-on-ones deep with Deshaun Jackson, depending on what the game plan is going to be for Atlanta against us. I promise you that they're going to try to mimic the Bears defense. They're going to play 3 down linemen, and they're going to put 9 back in coverage and force us to throw everything underneath and get those yards because they're not going to allow our receivers to go over top on them because they will, and they can. I promise you're going to see that kind of defense happening. And if our offensive line won't hold up, it's going to be pretty easy for them to do that the entirety of the game. We want to win, so do I, Kevin Smith. It all starts with leadership. Oh, yeah. If you want to talk about it starts with leadership, coach from your GM on down. You're talking about pleading for Mac? Yeah, any of them 2 picks wouldn't have been Khalil Mack. That dude literally changed the Bears defense in ways I could only look at stats and tell you that's a whole nother roster on defense with Khalil Mack on there, and just John Gruden coming back to the NFL and then making a foolish trade like that is going to haunt the Raiders for the next 10 years. Holy moly. Tight end heavy game? We'll see. It all depends on what the Falcons, where they want to play on defense, what their game plan is. It's a chess match, man. It's a chess match. It's not just easy to say one thing. We just got to keep that alarm down in distances, 3rd and 10s, 3rd and 12s, 3rd and 15s. Keep the quarterback safe from blitzes and getting defense or the offensive linemen getting beat around the edges and forcing Winston to make errant throws. And then going right back, wishing for Fitzpatrick or whoever. It's just, and so we put him in a winning situation. Coming in Sunday, I'll be in attendance. I'll be in the box calling the defense. Just kidding. I'll be there in attendance, sending you guys lots of photos and stuff so you can see what's going on in the game. From my point of view, I'll be staying the night there from Saturday going into Sunday, and I'll be heading back to the Tampa Bay area on Sunday. Should be fun. Like I said, I'm not going to show tape today. I got to figure out a better way to break down the video so you guys can check it out. I don't have much else, unless anybody's got anything else to add to this. Again, make sure to check out BucsReport.com for all your latest news and updates and everything. BUCnBLAKE Sports. Log into the radio, www.BucsandBlakeSports.com. Log in and get logged in with the website. Yeah. Rojo? Okay, what you guys got? Reginald London. We one play away from making the Buccaneers a playoff contender. Yeah. One play, one practice. Putting in the extra work there, Reginald London. They can do it, man. You just got to eliminate stupid plays, turnovers, and stuff like that. And we can pretty much overcome anything. Everybody believing in each other. I mean, it was easy to, ride the wave when we were winning, but now we're facing with adversity and everybody's kind of withering and not sure where they want to go with everything. Maybe Rojo make an appearance with some underneath routes. I mean, you put LOL. It's not. It's funny, but it's not really funny. I said that with the running back situation. If you can't run the ball, you go ahead and put Peyton Barber in there. You try to pound the ball in there. If it's not working, then you go ahead and you go to execute Order 66, and you put Jacquez Rodgers and Ronald Jones in the backfield, and they sit around in the little in the cuffs in the defense behind the defensive end in front of the linebackers, and you get the ball space to them to beat the one guy and get the 7 to 8 yards or the first down runs, and those are your run plays. That's how you incorporate from you can't run in the ball between the tackles, incorporating it into the pass game. It is the exact same the Patriots to do, and it's a very simple system to run. If you see a blitz coming, you send that back to that side of the field and let him work his magic. Just dump the ball to him, Winston, and let him earn his paycheck. Just get the ball to him in open field and let him do his thing. After that, you can't really control that, but you got the right guy the ball and given the situation in one-on-one. Any player, receiver, anybody wants to be one-on-one with one guy, and you got to make that play. If Eddie Lacy's going to play, he's going to play snack bar. That's what he's going to play. William Stansel, I just think Winston needs to be the quarterback instead of the hype man. Someone else be the flavor of the bunch. Yeah, he took a step back. He's not doing that anymore. William, he's definitely taking a step back and humble this stuff and not trying to be everything. And that's and that right there shows you what happens to young players when they take over trash franchises. When you try to throw these young players in their franchise, and he's trying to be the face of the franchise, everybody's friend, the playmaker, and doing that, and just going out there making it as simple as you can be. Just make the plays that you can make and help your team to win. And and it's hard to focus on that when you're so young because you don't know that right away, to humble yourself and try to make simple plays and stuff like that. And it comes with age. But I think he's proven that he can throw the ball in this league, given minimum help over the few years that we had. And I think he's making great progressions. And hopefully this team can make steps in the right direction to help him get better. So, William, we need to play aggressively on defense this week. Double Jones all game. Drew, I don't know if you saw it earlier. That's kind of what I said the coverage should be. It should be under over zone, underneath and one over top. Force the quarterback to throw the ball in a tight window. And that's how you stop. That's pretty much what the Steelers did. And when they went one-on-one, they stuck their best corner on Julio Jones. Miss running back Sims was great catching passes at the backfield. I mean, if you go on YouTube, all jokes aside, and look at Chris Sims' highlight, he made some great plays catching the passes out of the backfield, and those were a lot of those plays he made, and those were what I'm talking about, catching the passes at the backfield, but we didn't incorporate that kind of system for the backs to get it. We kept trying to make a guy that's not good running between the tackles run between the tackles, and that's kind of been the staple of Tampa Bay, not trying to put players in the best position they can to succeed. You draft players for a purpose. If you have an offense, then you get players that fit your offense for a purpose. We got Adam Humphries that we use. Line Adam Humphries in the backfield just like the Steelers do, and let him catch passes up the backfield and beat people in one-on-one. It's simple. Johnny Dean says that would be the best scenario, but Rojo hasn't shown he's capable. Rodgers may be the right for the underneath. I agree. Until Rojo shows something, I agree. You're not gonna hear any arguments out of me on that one. He's a great quarterback. Let's get behind him. As everybody, support who your quarterback is, man. Stop trying to find reasons to be against each other, Bucs fan versus Bucs fan. We got enough of racial issues and stuff and other issues like that, homosexuality and all that type of stuff. Everybody just finding reasons to be against each other instead of just being one. And that's a whole nother political conversation entirely. I'm not going to do that on a football platform, but you guys get the drift of what I'm saying. Battery's going dead. I'm tired. Had a long day, long week, working with the new job. You guys know me, I work. I really don't got much else. I'm going to go next week. I'm going to go a little bit harder and break some more stuff down at this Falcons game. Just remember what I said. Under over defense, zone underneath, zone over top, must get pressure, force Matt Ryan to throw the ball, force the ball to get into small windows between under and the over zone, but it only is going to matter if he gets pressure. Just watch all game what I'm telling you. Watch Matt Ryan's eyes, and especially when they go in the 5 wide, it's quick outs. It's either going to be to Sanu or it's going to be to Hooper. He likes going to those in 5 wide, or it's going to be screen passes. But expect a lot of trips formation based off of the Bears game against us. Expect a lot of trips, bunch formation. I promise you're going to see that because that's what worked against us. All right, Reginald, Johnny Dean, thanks, guys. And we'll end this as we always do. You're the master of everything. What you do with your life, what you do with it is entirely up to you. Thank you, guys. God bless, and fire those cannons.